Good evening, children. Today I'm going to explain the story Holiday Activities, Lesson 5. The story has been written by Tara Goswami. He is an Assamese artist as well as a writer. What has happened? We all love going for outings in the summer holidays instead of staying at home because all of us are bored in the summer holidays. So what has happened? The story is about 7 years old Pitki. He talks about his experience, how he spends his winter holidays with her grandparents in the Sekoni tea estate in Assam. Duta went off to Calcutta after we reached Sekoni. I wished I had stayed. He had stayed, but he had some important works. We have been here for almost 2 weeks. 2 weeks they stayed there and they had great fun and enjoyment. They had lots of games, playing games, and they had a huge big garden in front of the house with beautiful flowers and vegetables planted by the grandmother. There was a pond with fish and the cow shed also with the tallest haystack nearby. And what has happened? Ma, Donji and I spent lots of time on the haystack where Ma read to us from a book called Watership Dawn. And what has happened? The writer's mother also stayed there and they had lots of enjoyment, and mother told them beautiful stories about Watership Down. So we pretended to be rabbits and chew on fresh carrots. Grandmother has planted had a beautiful kitchen garden in front of the house, and in that garden all types of fruits and vegetables were planted, and they ate carrots, like raw carrots, and they had great fun like eating like rabbits. Atma says that healthy to eat fruits and vegetables that grow in the season. That is the right time to eat them. Nature has made the timetable what grows when and what we should follow it. Grandmother told the children that it is very good to eat the fruits and vegetables, especially that grows in time. And in this way, one can remain healthy also, eating what nature has made. The timetable. Garden is organized into different plots. Garden has been divided in different plots. It has rows of trees creeping into bamboo frames, and carrots and cauliflowers. All types of vegetables are there. Green leafy spinach, like vegetables called sukha sak. The writer used to pick up those and wrap them in banana leaves, and mother used to roast them in the fire outside. Then they invited all their friends to come and to eat them. And the writer's favorite fruit was bogori. It's grown in season now, and it grows on the thorniest trees, but it's very delicious in eating. Fruits are sour. Actually, the fruits are very sour to eat. They are green when they are raw, and they become red when they are pulpy and ripen. He didn't even mind getting cuts from the thorns. Writer even got many times cuts in the thorns picking those bogori. We always miss the chalpai or olive season, but Atama had trays and trays, drying them in the sun, making pickles. What has happened? Atama grandmother used to cut them chalpai in trays and trays, and used to dry them and make pickles out of them. I have already stolen and polished up half the jalpais. They are sour and yummy too. Jalpais are very sour in taste and they're very delicious also. When the pickles are ready, they can take back them to their home also. Koka got the gardener to make sets of bows and arrows. Koka is actually in Assami language the meaning of grandfather. What has happened? He has asked the gardener to make bows and arrows so that the children can play with them. Then they played also shikar with so Donty and I sling the arrows pouches back and play shikar with them. Donty laughs at me. I shoot, but he's silly. What has happened? Donty laughs and he shoots the arrows. but we have a raft of food made of banana stems. Banana stems used to make raft, and they used to play in the pond, and the banana stem in the pond, and expert in rafting now. And now writer has become very expert in rafting also. Then they went to the stream. They had a picnic over there. The water in the pond is very clean and clear and cold also. And the writer felt that he was doing any adventures. He felt that he was in the famous 5 adventures. And yesterday grandfather took them to a big stream in middle of the forest. In middle of the forest, grandfather took them in the big stream. And they bathed in the stream, and they picked the outing elephant fruit from under the tree. They were dropped by the elephants who love to eat this fruit. What has happened? Outringa is a type of fruit, elephant fruit, and the elephants, this thing, what is they have been dropped by the elephants, and elephant love to eat them. And what has happened? They picked up the fruits, these children, and what did Atama? Atama means the grandmother. She has made a very tasty dal, very sour dal with the fruit they picked up. Atama is very careful about the children. She doesn't let them to go out in the afternoon time after having the lunch. She asks them to sleep and take rest. And Atama is very clever. She scares us, telling about Bura Dangoria, spirit of the trees. She tells about that there's a ghost, Bura Dangoria, in the trees, and she scares the children so that they don't go out in the afternoon time. And instead they take rest. She comes along and catches them away. I know, and tells that this ghost catches, very fond of children, and they catches the children and takes them away. And the children also, out of scared, they don't go out to play or outside. I know that there is no Bura Dangoria in real life. Writer is telling that she knows that there is no ghost called Bura Dangoria in real life, but it was good to be careful, and they loved staying at indoors. Atama would bribe us in the afternoon by telling them beautiful stories about kings, thieves, clever foxes, and silly men, and many other things, so that the children would stay at home and listen to her stories. Here we come to the end of the story. Thank you.